White knight marches to f3. Black knight marches to f6. White pawn marches to d4. Black pawn marches to e6. White bishop marches to g5. Black pawn marches to c5. White pawn marches to e3. Black queen marches to b6. White queen moves sideways to c1. Black pawn marches to d5. White pawn marches to c3. Black bishop marches to d7. White knight marches to d2. Black bishop marches to b5. White bishop captures bishop at b5 and gives check. Black queen captures bishop at b5 and breaks check. White pawn marches to a4. Black queen retreats to a6. White pawn marches to b4. Black pawn captures pawn at b4. White pawn captures pawn at b4. Black knight marches to d7. White pawn marches to b5. Black queen moves sideways to b6. White bishop retreats to f4. Black queen retreats to d8. White bishop marches to c7. Black queen moves sideways to c8. White kingside castling. Black bishop marches to e7. White rook marches to a2. Black kingside castling. White rook moves sideways to c2. Black knight retreats to e8. White pawn marches to a5. Black knight marches to f6. White knight marches to e5. Black bishop retreats to d8. White bishop retreats to b6. Black queen captures rook at c2. White queen captures queen at c2. Black pawn captures bishop at b6. White pawn marches to a6. Black pawn captures pawn at a6. White queen marches to c6. Black rook marches to a7. White queen marches to c8. Black knight marches to d6. White queen moves sideways to b8. Black knight captures pawn at b5. White rook moves sideways to c1. Black bishop marches to c7. White queen captures rook at a7. Black knight captures queen at a7. White rook captures bishop at c7. Black rook moves sideways to a8. White knight captures pawn at f7. Black knight marches to b5. White rook moves sideways to b7. Black rook moves sideways to c8. White knight retreats to g5. Black pawn marches to h6. White knight captures pawn at e6. Black rook marches to c1 and gives check. White knight escapes check at f1. Black knight marches to e4. White pawn marches to f3. Black knight marches to d2. White king marches to f2. Black knight captures knight at f1. White rook captures pawn at g7 and gives check. Black king escapes check at h8. White rook retreats to g6. Black pawn marches to a5. White knight retreats to f4. Black pawn marches to a4. White rook captures pawn at h6 and gives check. Black king escapes check at g8. White knight captures pawn at d5. Black pawn marches to a3. White knight retreats to b4. Black rook moves sideways to b1. White resigns and black wins the game.